Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And today we're closing out our look at Legacy United Wave 1, the core class figures, with Energon Universe Megatron. Now, I was supposed to have this figure sometime last week before Christmas, um, probably when I got a Tasmania Kid. Unfortunately, Amazon made a slight shipping error, and instead of giving me uh, one Tasmania Kid, one Megatron. They sent me two Tasmania Kids, but I do have to appreciate the fact that while I was originally going to get this in the middle of January, here it is right before the end of the year, and I'm able to enjoy it now. So this is kind of interesting. Again, as I've been saying, as we look at the United figures, that these guys showed up a month early or so, and well, I know that for some people that is a bit of an issue. But let us not um, meditate too long on that, as we are looking at a really cool looking core class figure. For those of you unfamiliar with Energon Megatron, I do believe this was fiction wise the first time Megatron appeared as a jet or some sort of spacefaring type of vehicle. Very nice. There are quite a few callbacks to its Armada appearance, namely this tank weapon. Believe it or not, that's supposed to represent Megatron's Armada tank. So yes, we have a core class figure with a miniature representation of a previous of Evolution's leader class Megatron. Um, Other than that, it does actually do a good job representing the gimmicks. Um, you really don't have the hyper uh, power abilities, but the wings are articulated. You do have the Energon sword there that would peg into the back of the tank, but would store in vehicle mode. So, that is kind of cool. And of course, you do have the shoulder weapons. Um, and to answer the question why um, Galvatron at the end of Armada reverted back to Megatron had to do with copyrights and trademarks. I also believe that this is a powered up form of uh, that character. So he's now like a super Megatron, and with a little because once we see the go to the robot mode, you'll see that there is some uh, physical similarities to Unicron, who was there at the end of Armada. But I just went ahead and removed the tank weapon, and as you can see, it's fairly hollow and only one color. That gives you the bit of a look at the back. Unfortunately, there is no way to store this in robot mode. So, and for the transformation, you will have to remove it, which we're going to do right now because it's very simple. So, what you want to do is bring up the wings pretty much all the way to just get them out of the way, make your life easy to work with. And now we're going to unpeg these side panels, and they do tab in rather securely to what will be the robot mode shoulders. Bring those down, bring them down, and then rotate them so those larger tabs are facing towards you. Those will be the heels in robot mode. Bring those down, flip the figure around, make sure you get everything a little straight. And then what we can do is uh, rotate the robot mode biceps at the elbow, the forearms there. And the one thing that's not shown in the instructions is that the arms do peg into the torso at right below the armpit joint, so you can just free that up a little. Although as you handle the figure, that should come out naturally. Next, rotate the whole backpack section around 180 degrees. That's, ascend up to the original toy. Spread the wings out slightly so you'll have room to bring the nose cone down. You can then, that'll help keep things lined up. Keep the wings back just to have room for your hands. Rotate Megatron's head around, and there you go, the robot mode. Now, as you saw, the tank barrel was facing forward. The instructions show to have the sword facing forward in robot mode. And we just bring the wings. There are some soft detents on the wings, so you can angle them properly. Um, Obviously, I think that is a space issue, and that it is where on the original toy you could actually rotate it around, and you can rotate it here. Unfortunately, due to the normally on the original toy, you'd be able to store the sword blade up here, but since it is attached, you do run into some space issues. So I think it is best just to keep the sword blade forward. And there is Energon Megatron. Now, like I said, the head very similar to Galvatron, the original G1 Galvatron. In fact, uh, the original repaint of this toy, a lot of people used as a Neo G1 Galvatron because of how close it looked to that character. Head, the chest here, which is also very similar to Unicron. You know, why you're gonna make a lackey? Why not, make him similar to you? These guns here are removable, and you can simulate the original uh, gimmick of the toy of having the barrels flip down just by switching the peg. They can also be handheld, so that is nice. So, you just small pegs, small holes, small figure, but there you go. You do have something like that. Now, of course, on the original toy, Megatron could not handhold the figure. So, I'm sorry, handhold the weapons. So that is a new change. Other than that, in terms of the transformation, ball joints at the shoulders, ball joints at the elbows, ball joints at the knees. You do have a deep knee bend. A lot of that's for the transformation. Uh, that unfortunately does break up the look of the leg since there is like a bit of that transformation going on. On the original toy, the knee actually bent from above the knee pad, so there is that. Uh, no waist articulation due to the nature of the backpack, but all in all, not a bad figure. So I guess that's about it for the review. Let's come back and I'll give you my final. So like I said, Energon Megatron is not a bad figure, but it's not an oh my god, uh, ground ground shaking, genre defining, uh, you know, change, opinion changing figure. I think out of the three core figures in Wave One, I'm gonna say Boulder Crash is my favorite. I like that armorizer gimmick. I like it becoming a sword. Energon Megatron, I'm gonna put at number two, just because, at least on my copy, the figure does come together quite well. And Tasmania Kid, um, while is number three, doesn't make it a bad figure. It's just, the one I really didn't connect with. But I know there's a lot of people who are quite happy to have the figure, so I'm happy for them. As I said at the beginning, I got this figure from Amazon. Now, I do have started to hear that Big Bad Toy Store was starting to ship their um, their United stock. So I believe Amazon and Big Bad are the places to go now. Now I should mention that Big Bad, it's possible that they got an early stock and that stuff is back to pre-order right now, whereas Amazon stuff is fluctuating in and out of stock. But it like with Energon Megatron here, if you do order it and it's in stock, but it says it's shipping later in the month, there's a good chance you'll get it earlier than I did. And I'll be honest, I would buy this mold again, as Galvatron, just because of that Neo G1 look. And I'll even go you one better. If Takara does this, and like they were doing with their Earthspark line, and gives this a paint job more indicative of the classic toy, I dip. I would definitely dip. I would possibly quadruple dip even. So yeah. Um, Thank you so much for watching. That's the end of the review. If you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe. While I always appreciate the views, the likes, comments, and subscriptions help to communicate to YouTube through their algorithms that my channel should be exalted and held upon high. I want to make the ultimate sign of support. I do have a Patreon. It is www.patreon.com/ChuckDog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month, $12 a year. No thrills, no tears, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help you to help me help you bring figures like this to you. In the post-holiday season, if you happen to have a couple bucks handy, from extra left over from holiday money or whatever, toss them my way. Unlike other reviewers and content creators, who have a Patreon, I'm not going to go anywhere if I don't hit certain goals. It's just, a little something extra. And that's why I always say that Patreon is a cherry on top of an already generous sundae. That generous sundae is guys like you supporting me for over 10 years with your views and subscriptions. Right before the holidays, we hit that 5,000 subscriber mark, and we've even gone now. We're at 5,100 subscribers, 5,100 subscribers, and each one of those were earned, and each one of those are appreciated. So thank you once again for watching. This is your old pal Chuck for Energon Megatron. We will see you next time.